Hello and welcome to another Webflow live stream. My name is Aaron Kornblatt, and I cannot tell you how excited I am to bring you this live stream all about Webflow AI apps, or apps built on top of Webflow that use AI. But before we jump in, I'd just like to say hello to everyone in the chat. We've got some familiar names: X Adam, regular, appreciate you joining, and thank you for everything you built for the community. Got Wit, an ex guest. So thank you, and imagining representing the Slater folks today. Got some new faces. Steven, really appreciate you joining. 3 years on Webflow. That's amazing. Congratulations to you. We've got Meg from the team. Let's go, Meg. Always the apps person and always a great contributor. Got so many folks. Who else do we have? We've got Dale. Welcome, Dale. Randall from Arkansas. Appreciate. Got Code, Kashan. So many great folks. If you've never joined a Webflow live stream, go ahead and create a YouTube channel and join us in the chat. That's what I kind of look at to get questions and things like that. But extremely excited to kick off another Webflow live stream. Speaking of Webflow live streams, next week, make sure to sign up for Tiny But Mighty. We've got Emily and Alan, our CTO, talking to you about everything we've launched over the last 5 months since Webflow Conf and giving you a sneak peek into what's to come. So I'm actually going to go ahead and drop a link to that in the chat. Make sure, do not miss it. If you are not yet signed up, make sure to catch that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be same time, same place next week. It's loads of fun. Okay, so that is not what we're going to talk about. Today we're going to talk about how to build better and more websites using apps that leverage AI on top of Webflow. Now, this is actually what I'm hoping to be a recurring series, right? Talking about the different apps that you can use on Webflow in themes, right? So maybe we talk about how to design better or things like that in the future. We thought we'd start off with the hottest topic, what everyone is talking about, how to use AI in Webflow using these apps. So if you have any ideas or other themes or apps you'd like us to showcase or talk about on this live stream, drop it in the chat now. Or if you're watching back, drop it in the comments. Yeah, I'm looking to you. If you like this type where we cover many apps in 40 minutes around a theme, I would love to hear it. If you hate it, also please let me know. Okay, so for today, we're going to cover 4 different apps. We're going to cover Relume, Slater, FluidSEO, and Jasper, not necessarily in that order, and talking about how these apps that use AI can help you deliver more websites better. So, without further ado, I think we're all asking ourselves, how do I use AI? Is it good? Is it bad? So we're going to spend the next 40 minutes diving deep. So join me. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Yeah, let's drop this off. So the first app we're going to cover is Relume. So for some reason, it is not showing you. Let me just, not showing you. Do you see the empty page? I think you're seeing a different page. Let me go ahead and debug this for a second here. Apologies for that, folks. Okay, what is going on here? Apologies for that. Let me just see what's going on. It's not showing you the right thing. Yep. Okay. Well, it's not a live stream if something doesn't go wrong. There we go. We're back. Okay. All right. Now you see a blank page. So the first app I want to talk to you about is Relume. So Relume has been a member of our community, letting you take components and add it to your Webflow website. But they've really innovated and incorporated AI into their app to let you build, frankly, whole websites. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with a prompt and go ahead and build a website. So as I'm going to go ahead and let Adam from Relume introduce Relume, I want you to drop in the chat, what kind of website do we want to build from scratch? Maybe think of a company or a use case, drop it in the chat. And as you're thinking, I'm going to go ahead and let Adam from Relume introduce Relume and introduce their new Webflow app. So let's kick it off.
Hey Aaron and the Webflow community, my name's Adam, I'm the co-founder of Relume. I'm going to explain how our Webflow app called Relume Site Builder Import works. So essentially, if you haven't heard of Relume before, Relume enables you to create sitemaps and wireframes with the help of AI in minutes, and those wireframes and sitemaps can be imported into Webflow using our Webflow app. Now the way it works is that once you import a sitemap, all the pages in a project go automatically created within minutes, and within those pages we then add all the sections and the components that you've created with Relume into the Webflow project. Now it syncs with components in your Webflow project and the updated classes within that too, so it creates a rather effortlessly import into Webflow.
All right, well, let's give it a try. Huge thanks to Adam for that quick introduction. So we've got some suggestions. We've got, let me go, a matchstick website, some pharma website, maybe a fintech. But let's dive into Relume. So what I have here as a starting point, I have a blank website, and I have the client first style guide. Let me jump into Relume, and let's go ahead and kind of see the power of AI. I'm going to start a new project. And let's go ahead and say we want 1 to 5 pages. Now, I'm not necessarily an expert in all of these apps. I've been exploring them and hoping to bring you kind of an overview of each one of them. If you have questions, drop them in the chat or in the comments below. I'm going to make sure that the team answers those either live or in the future. Okay, so let me zoom in here a little bit. What do we want? Okay, I like that fintech example, right? Let's do a website for a small fintech company that wants to seem reliable and trustworthy for a digital checking product. Now checking, obviously I've written it in like that. Okay, 1 to 5 pages. Let's go ahead and generate the sitemap. Now what Relume's going to go ahead and do is imagine what could that website look like and create sections for each one. I can zoom in here. So AI is actually creating each section of our sitemap. So I see that we already have some Relume users. This is awesome. I've been a Relume user for a while. Oh, cancel that. All right, so it's creating these little sections. And let me go. Oops, because I got that clicked. Okay, here we go. So we've got our home. It's suggesting a hero header section, introduce the fintech company with a strong value proposition and captivating imagery to engage users. So it's taking our prompt and giving us kind of tailored sections with not lorem ipsum as copy, but true kind of relevant use cases. So that's created the homepage. Maybe we just do 2 pages. How does that feel? Maybe just 2. Let me go ahead and delete the other stage. I just want about us. And let's go ahead and, so in the About Us, I want to make it maybe a little more lively. So in the About Us page, make us seem like a fun company to work for, but that takes our, product seriously. How about that? Let's generate. So I used to be bad at naming variables. Now I have to become good at, I guess, making prompts because I feel like that's going to be a big part of my future. Cool. And now it's creating these sections. Now what's great about this is if we feel like this is too much, we can remove, we can ask to edit the sitemap, edit the page, generate new stuff. Really, we have full control. So I'm going to delete a few of these. Maybe pricing, we don't want that on the homepage. Team section either. I'm just pressing backspace. And now we have an outline, a sitemap for our kind of starting point. And I really think where I find personally, and I'm exploring these just like you are, I think where Relume is really innovating and tying into their existing ecosystem of components is that it then provides a wireframe. So it takes each section that you want in your sitemap and then suggests components from their library that match. And what's great about it, even the copy is related, right? So experience hassle-free banking with our secure and user-friendly digital checking solution. I will be honest, I could not make up a better tagline than that, given what we know about this company. So truly, I think this is one of the cool, I remember the first time playing this, I thought this was so cool. And yeah, now we have our 2 pages. For each one of these, we can either select, we can replace the component, right, with an existing component from their library. And we can remove, we can play around with this and truly give us a good framework for getting started in Webflow. Now, personally, and I'd love to hear some suggestions in the chat, I can see this as an amazing starting point to convince people to move their website to Webflow. You can say, hey, I already have a starting point and it's already live and you can play with it. So Tom mentions, love how easy it is to switch around and try different components in Relume. Exactly. You can get to what is pretty much a amazing starting point for your website just by playing around with these. Like for instance, here, I see that these 2 are the same component, which doesn't really make sense. So I can go ahead and replace it. Let's imagine that we want something maybe a little less image-based. Maybe I can find, yeah, something like that, right? Oh no, that's a little too much, I'd say. Let's find something else. Maybe something like that, or let's just go ahead and delete this one. Oh, we can switch sides. How about that? And say no image, and we want it. Maybe we want a video. That would make sense. Okay, there we go. So we can play around, really get it to a nice starting point. And here's where the kind of Relume app comes in. Before, you had to copy paste these components or these pieces manually. But now with their app, we can do a one-step import into Webflow. So here, what I have here is the style guide. So I've copied the client first style guide. That is the starting point for Relume. And Relume uses client first as its framework. So if you don't know what client first is, we do have a stream about that with Joe from Finsui talking about client first. So all of these components are built using client first. And so I have the style guide already imported. That's a starting point. So now let me actually name this. Let's call this banking app. And yeah, let's go ahead and I already connected the 2. So when you sign in, you can say which sites should have access to Relume. I'm going to go ahead and launch that. And I see that I have my project. There we go. And we can simply add pages. Now it's going to go ahead and take our components or the pieces and then bring them into Webflow. So let's click there. I want to replace existing pages. And now it's importing. So really, literally in the background, we can see Relume building our site in real time. So what it's doing here, it's going to each section, it's copy pasting for us each one of these pieces and bringing them into our Webflow website. So now I'm going to let it, there we go. That was good timing. So now if I go into my pages, I see I have home and about us, the 2 pages that I've built in Relume, and we have our structure. So now my role is to kind of make this lively, right? So change the copy, put the right images, move things around. So really some very, very powerful stuff coming out of Relume. So I'm just taking a moment to look at the chat, see some questions. Adam, does it support combo classes? That is a good question. I do not believe it does. So I do not, depending on the import, I do believe it all uses single classes within Relume, but that's a good question for Relume. So I don't know if there's some Relume experts here in the chat. Let me know. Hassan says, no literal ipsum is so good when presenting to clients. Absolutely. The more you know about that brand, you can personalize that prompt and really give it a lifelike website outline using that prompt in Relume and making something really, really amazing. Now, a few things I want to point your attention to. It does even create components from the things that you've defined as global or as kind of global components in Relume. So if I go here, you'll notice that this has a little green around it saying that this is a component, and it's created that nav bar within Webflow as well. So it's not only building your pages, whatever you defined as a global component within Relume, it's going to bring it into Webflow. And really, this creates an amazing, I don't know, personally, as someone who has sometimes difficulty imagining what a website could look like, this gives me an amazing starting point. So yeah, so that was Relume. So yes, thank you, Mason, for this mug. And that is a great segue into our kind of next topic. So yeah, so that was Relume. I'm going to take a moment. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. But personally, I'm just so amazed of what this can do. Amazing app to give you a starting point, really show you what a website could look like. And we did that within 10 minutes, right? And we have 2 pages. We could have built 4 or 5. Really, really amazing stuff. So there's a question around how much does Relume cost? So I will refer to the Relume pricing page. I'm going to drop that in the chat. There you go. So yeah, they start at 32, can go up to 40. So, okay, that was our first app. That was one of the 4 different ways we can use AI in Webflow using apps. Now, I'm going to switch gears here. I'm not going to use this website for the whole kind of presentation. I want to bring you to a more built-out website, right? So this is a sandbox website that I've been using, and there's a few things I think can be improved on this page using AI. So the first one is we're going to talk about how can I add some custom code to this site. So the design I have is this one right here. So this was done by Skylar, and I have this little slider right here, which goes from light green to red to blue, and so on and so forth. So we want to say the first child, the first slide should be green, and then red, and then blue. Now, I know personally in Webflow that I need to write some custom CSS to do that. Now, personally, few things scare me more than writing custom CSS or custom JavaScript, personally. And I've been personally using a lot of AI to help me do that and become a better developer, hopefully one day to be able to show you all how to write code on this live stream. So that's when I discovered Slater. So Slater lets you write code, lets you manage code better in Webflow, but also gives you that ability to talk to AI to improve your code. So that is my pitch for Slater. Let's hear from Mason himself, from Edgar Allen, talking about Slater.
Hey, everybody. I'm Mason with the Edgar Allen team, and we are building Slater, which is a scripting layer powered by AI for creating and managing code in Webflow. And I know that sounds a little odd to talk about coding in what has been considered a no-code environment, but what we're really talking about is how to help people make that leap from working solely visually to now being able to declare with written language what they want to have happen, be it in logic flows or connecting different collection types and things along those lines. It's very exciting. And the other thing we found is that now more traditionally minded developers can come in and have a bridge to the Webflow environment. So we're learning a ton, having a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what everyone's going to build. All right. Thanks very much. Bye.
All right. Well, Mason, thank you. And I have to say, I have also personally been having a lot of fun building in Slater. And just personally, as another amazing developer, it's been really useful. And thank you for the mug. So maybe, I'm just gonna put that out there. If you send me a mug, I will kind of bring it on the stream. So this one says, from no code to no code, NOW. So love it. Yeah, thank you so much for the mug. All right.
Hey, everybody. I'm Mason with the...
Okay, so let's go ahead and figure out how do we implement Skylar's amazing little build here, little alternating colors in our Webflow app. And we're going to do that using Slater. Now note that I also can have like a slider example that I've created in this. If we have time at the end, I'm happy to go through it in Slater. But let's just start with the alternating colors. So let me go ahead and open up Slater. Let me launch it. I'm going to sign in with Webflow. I'm going to connect my website that I'm currently working on, which is called AI Apps. Now I have many, many websites, so that might take a little bit of time. And this one is called Fitness Site. Let's authorize that. And that lets me kind of code right here. But I'm actually going to go to Slater app, which is probably where I prefer. Oh, it's connecting me to ABC client, which is already a connection. Let me start a new one. How about that? It's already connected. So maybe I'm going to go ahead and let's create a new file. Let's create a new file. And we're going to call this alternating background. And this is going to be a CSS file. Let's save that file. And let me actually delete this one. Oops, I do want to delete. Okay. So now I'm going to try to explain to the kind of AI that's here on the right what it is that I want to do. So essentially, I have a slide where I want to alternate colors between green, red, and blue for each slide. And what I've found to be very useful is to actually paste the HTML of where this is going. So I'm going to have to say, okay, go to my list, which is the container around each one of my slides, right, which is CMS based. And that is where I want to apply some custom CSS to take the first slide and make it red. The second one, make it, forget the colors, make it red, yellow, red, blue, yellow, red, blue. Okay, so I always start with hi. I know that's weird because I'm talking to a machine, but I just can't help myself to imagine that this is a Slack message. Hi, I'd like to create alternating background colors for my slides in a slider. First, the background color should be yellow, then green, then red, and then yellow again, and so on and so forth. So Wit says, also says, please and thank you. Yes. I don't know if that's ever going to be like a generational thing where us folks who maybe discovered it a little later in life will say please and thank you, whereas younger folks will just say, just tell me what I want. So let's go ahead and copy. I'm going to copy the parent and say, hey, here is my HTML. And this for me, if I paste this, doesn't look like anything, right? It doesn't tell me anything, but computers are usually amazing at parsing this and understanding what's going on. Okay, so it's getting a response, and then Slater is actually going to go ahead and kind of parse it for us. So it's saying, here is the CSS that you need to go ahead and input yellow, green, red, yellow. Now, again, that's a little weird. Why do we have yellow twice, right? So I'm going to go ahead and say, why do we have yellow twice? Because my expectation is we have yellow, green, red, and then the way this is created, it would alternate automatically. Why do we have yellow twice? Now it's adjusted itself. It said, oh, actually, apologize for the oversight. Well, see, if I'm being nice to the AI, it is being nice to me, and it is apologizing, which is always great to see. Now, I know what nth child is because I've prepared this, but also because maybe I've played around with CSS, but maybe you don't. And you say, what is nth child? And really what's interesting I found in using this environment is that you both ask it questions, you learn things, and then you can ask it questions to clarify what it is that you're learning. So I've personally really, really had a lot of fun playing around with this because it's taught me a lot when trying to implement specific examples and going back and forth. Now, obviously I can go search, I can go to a live stream. Please continue listening to these live streams, but that back and forth is extremely useful. Question from Iconic, can we watch it later? Yeah, absolutely. You can even go back right now. The stream is available instantly. And so, yeah, so it says that kind of this is the structure, nth child, AN plus B, where A is cycle size. So that may be the first cycle, 0, 1, 2, 3. N is a counter. Sorry, N is the counter. A is 3 to say every third. And then B is an offset value. Maybe you want to start it at the second. So if we go here, it says, go to your slide, which is the parent div, find the nth child, right? So N starting at 0. So the first child, and give it background color yellow. Go to the second one and make it green and then red. So actually it's missing a little plus here. So let's go copy paste this. Let's just see what this looks like and figure out how do we implement this in Webflow. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save that. Right now, there's not necessarily a connection between Slater and my kind of Webflow environment. Yes, I've connected those two things together. However, I still need to say, okay, add a little bit of code, right, to the page that will generate, that will kind of include this CSS. So I'm gonna go ahead and go here, alternating background CSS, that's this right here. I'm gonna copy that. I'm gonna go to the page in Webflow. Let me go here. And width, correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm going to go into settings. And I can either make this page specific, right? So implement this CSS into this specific page, or kind of bring it at my website level. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to publish. And let's see if this works. So my expectation is that we have yellow, green, red as our backgrounds. And let me make sure. Obviously it didn't work, but that's great because we have AI to understand what's going on. So what is going on here? So we have list as the parent class, and here it says slide. So let's go and find where is slide. So I don't even see slide as, we have it here, right? So should it be slide and then the child of that? Is there a high-pitched audio? Oh, sorry, Eric, if that's the case. Let me move some wires. Okay, hopefully that fixes it. Let me know if that's not the case. Oh, apologies if there's a buzz. Let me know if that makes it better or worse, but let's keep going here. Okay, so I do not see slide. Let me go and make sure. Why are we applying it to slide? Okay. Okay, let's actually check whether we see background color anywhere here. Actually, let's first check if we're correctly implementing Slater. Let me go here. Okay, great. So the sound is better. Okay, so let's go. Actually, I have an idea. Maybe we take, let's just see. And let's say dot slide. And let's give it background color just to see if we're implementing it correctly. Let's do black. Maybe I didn't save to production. Okay, we're not seeing, let's go to slide as our class. Okay, so we have slide here. And then background color, FFF, so that's white. So clearly we're not seeing this. Let's publish this one more time. Okay. Yeah, the error in console is not related to that. Okay, but if I say console slide oh, always tough to debug. Well, let me background color black. This should work. Okay, let's check whether we've correctly put this into here. That should work. Slide background color. If I put it black here. Okay, so slide is clearly the parent element. And we should be applying it to. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. We want the child. That makes sense. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Maybe I've connected it twice. Yeah, let me try republishing. Okay, I will get back to that example after once we've gone through all the apps. I promise. Well, I don't want to spend 10 minutes debugging this. Actually, let me try including the previous one I had here. Oh, it's not saving. No, here we go. Let's go alternating background. Save to production. Let's refresh here. Okay. So one last thing I want to do. I want to check whether if I add a, do I see, let me just go body. If I implement just body. So we should have body. No, so I'm not seeing it. So I'm probably not connecting it correctly. Okay, we'll get back to it. I do want to show you the two apps, and then we're going to go into debug mode for this one. Apologies to the Slater team. Okay, let's go into our third app, which is Jasper. So Jasper lets you use kind of create on-brand AI copy, right? So you can kind of just tell it within the designer to give you better copy. So let's go ahead and go to Josh from Jasper.
Hey, I'm Josh from the team at JasperAI. Jasper is an AI co-pilot for marketing teams, and our dedicated Webflow app brings the power of AI content creation directly into the Webflow designer. In the Jasper app, there are several ways to write or reconfigure content. You can enter a prompt, for example, rewrite this headline to be friendlier, and Jasper will quickly generate on-brand content. Aside from prompting within the app, you can choose to improve your writing, change your brand tone of voice, or change the length of your content to better fit your designs. Jasper can also repurpose your content to be used for Facebook posts, meta descriptions, or tweets, and he can even translate content into over 30 languages. So that's the Jasper app for Webflow. The power of AI directly within the designer. Happy writing.
All right, huge thanks to Josh. So let's try it out in our website. So I've got this copy right here, and let's imagine I want to, improve this copy. As I always mention on the stream, I'm not a great copy person. I don't write great copy. So let's go ahead and launch JasperAI. And I've selected that text element, and I can simply say improve my writing. So let's say, hey Jasper, again, I always introduce myself to the AI and say hi. This copy feels bland. I say a calm body leads to a calm mind. Our yoga sessions are designed to align your body and mind so you can fully bring yourself to your day. Say this copy feels bland and boring. Can we make it more explanatory and more lively? So what's great about it is actually taking the text in that text element and improving it. And the more you use Jasper, the more it'll understand what your brand is, what your kind of tone is, and can improve your existing copy. So what's great, I can just click press, and it goes ahead and adds that copy directly to our page. So with JasperAI, we're kind of, imagine I'm talking to a chatbot. I have that chatbot directly in Webflow. I can select the element, the text element I want to improve, and Jasper can work with it. So maybe I want to change length. I want to make shorter. It's going to go ahead and grab that copy and make it shorter. There we go. And it's removed a few of the words. I can also repurpose that content. So maybe I have a page with all of our product features, and I want to go ahead and create some LinkedIn post or tweet. Maybe I want to tweet about this. And now I'm repurposing that content on from my website directly to Twitter or whatever. And so again, for me, this has been really cool where I can create my site in Relume, and it'll give me some copy, and then I can improve that copy using Jasper directly in to our page. And if folks want to debug, here's the link if you want to help me out while we're doing this and check whether Slater is loading there. I would appreciate that. Okay, cool. So that was Jasper. Very quick, very, very useful app that lets you bring that power of chat and improve your copy directly in your Webflow website. Thank you to the Edgar Allan team. Okay. So one more app, again, another goal of leveraging AI in our kind of Webflow environment is Fluid SEO. So personally, again, this is something that I have no idea about. I don't know how SEO works. I don't know all of the different things I need to do to improve my SEO. So luckily, Fluid SEO and Tom is going to introduce how Fluid SEO can help us. So dropping intro to Tom.
Hey folks, Tom here from Fluid SEO, the SEO tool for agencies and marketers using Webflow. Aaron's going to give you a little demo of the app. Before he does, I wanted to give you a quick introduction. So today's live stream is all about AI. So much exciting stuff to talk about there. I imagine we'll be talking a little bit about content creation. Fluid SEO is not about building a huge content library for your site. What it is about is making sure that the crawlers are happy when they come to visit your site. So we've pulled in a bunch of different AI tools to help with that, things like image captioning and things like text generation. And that can help with your meta titles and meta descriptions, making sure you have alt text on your images and schema and structured markup on your site. Our goal is for you to deliver the same high bar for your clients or even higher, but to give you back a bunch of time for you to spend where it's more important and more valuable for you. And I'm excited for Aaron to show you the product. This is just where we are today. We have a lot of exciting stuff in the pipeline, and we know that we're going to be introducing some features that will help you rise in the rankings. If this live stream has you curious, please come and check us out in the chat because we've got a little present there for you. Cheers, folks.
All right. A huge thank you to Tom. I do not know what the present is. So Tom, if you're in the chat, now would be a good time to reveal what your present is. And while you do that, I'm going to go ahead and play around with Fluid SEO. So thank you, Tom, for that introduction. I'm really excited. I've been really playing around with this. So let's go ahead and open Fluid SEO. And brings up, again, in the context of my Webflow website, I can start seeing like what are the things that I can improve SEO-wise directly in my page. So let's go smart alt text. Now, Fluid SEO is going through all of the images and noticing which ones have alt text and which don't. So I have a few images here. Let's go home. I can click on this one and say generate. Or here, generate. And it's going to go ahead and grab that image and use AI to generate some alt text for it. So and let me go, what is Tom? What is the, oh, there's a 7-day trial, filed only today. So go ahead and grab that. I'm going to go ahead and refresh here. Let's go back to my little screen share. Let's regenerate. Now we're really having trouble today. This is not on me. Okay, let me refresh my whole screen and let me log back into Fluid SEO here. Promise this was working right before the stream. Okay. It's okay, it happens, Eric. That is the life of a live streamer. You try doing things live, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to disconnect my Fluid SEO, and then we're going to reconnect it, and I'm sure that's going to help. Okay, I do not have Fluid SEO. Let's go into marketing automation and analytics and SEO. Let's find Fluid. Install app. Oh no, this is just the problem of doing things live, folks. I have used this app many, many times, and it works great. And let's go back to here. Let's go back to our designer. Let's go to apps. Let's give that one more try. If not, Oh, I have an idea. Let's connect it to our, oh, we don't have images here. Huh. Maybe I'll just add an image. Ah, there we go. It worked. I just had to wait. There we go. A woman in blue and white leotard. And then I think it back. Let me just regenerate here then. We are going to make it through this. Yeah, let's try a few different ones. Let's generate for this one. Yeah, maybe I need to reset my whole computer. Oh, I didn't know you can multi-select. There we go. A woman doing yoga pose on a black background. See? It worked. It just took us a minute. That is still faster than me trying to figure out what the alt text is for that image with the reset. So let's try this one as well. You can multi-select. Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, awesome. See? I'm learning things on the stream. Let's generate. Boom. Thank you for the belief in me. I believe in you too. I believe in each one of you. The difference is that when I have a mistake, it's in front of hundreds of people. Which is all fine. So this one's not great, but we can edit it. We can say in a blue, white swimsuit on a blank background. All right. So as Eric mentioned, extremely useful. Maybe you have hundreds of images that don't have alt text, and you just want to have a starting point. Maybe you want to have at least some alt text in each one of your pages. Let's save that. And now it is updating the alt text for each one of the assets that I've created here. Let's do one more just to show that it works properly. So that is among one of the many kind of improvements that you can make on SEO really easily using FluidSEO. So it'll tell you where you might need help. And secondly, use AI to kind of improve wherever it is that you need better SEO. Now that's one of the many kind of options. You can get title, right? So I currently have just new home as my title and then description. It can generate a page description for me. Again, a great starting point. Harmonize your physical and mental well-being with our transformative yoga sessions. Empower yourself with renewed energy and focus. Honestly, just really much better to what I could write given this page. So whether it's for your production website or you want to present to your client or to your team something that is more built out, really extremely useful, takes the context of your page, gives you a title to start with, and all of that within the context of the Webflow designer. Truly, I think that's really where the power is. It's giving you that context literally without leaving the application, unless you need to disconnect and reconnect it, as I do. Bulk SEO updater, so SEO tags that you could update using CSV, schema improvements as well. So go check out the 7-day trial from Tom in the chat. And if you're watching back, I'm going to leave a link to the description. Truly, I think this is one of the coolest, some of the coolest things out there using AI within the context of the designer. So if you folks have questions about any of the apps, go ahead and drop them now. And then we're going to go back to debugging in Slater to finish this stream off. Those are the 4 apps I wanted to kind of show you today. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions. And then if the Edgar Allan team kind of help me out, see what the issue is in terms of the connection with Slater. But yeah, I am so impressed with how you can already use AI within Webflow, within the context of the designer. Within a few clicks, you can create a site using Relume, like a full wireframe for your whole site. Then you could use Slater to add custom code and talk to a bot and improve that custom code, probably better than I will. And then third, use Jasper to create more on-brand copy, right-click, improve it using the Jasper app. And then once you have all of that in place, improve your SEO using FluidSEO. And those are just some examples. So if you have other apps or other use cases you kind of want me to cover on the live stream, let me know. Yeah. So let's go ahead and play around with Slater. If you have questions, go ahead and drop. I'm going to leave this as a future thing. I'm going to try maybe 5 minutes, try to fix the Slater situation. Yeah, let's try to make a new Slater file. Let's try that. Actually, what I'll do is maybe I'll create a GS file that I can just try testing to see if the connection works. And let's just console.log this works. Save to staging. And let me go in. Let me connect this to my site just to see if the connection net. Let me go back. Where did I put my designer? It's over here. Let's go here. Do I want it in that specific? Maybe right here. Okay. Let's save that. Let's publish. And in the console, we should see this works if that connected correctly. Okay, so we don't see the console log. So clearly there's a connection issue. Maybe I'm going to go ahead and bring that into site settings. Okay, let me go custom code. And let's include it here. If we can't get the console log to work, that's okay. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, so it seems to have an event issue loading the file itself. So the file load failed. Okay, I have an idea. Yeah. Okay, Slater folks, I'm gonna have to apologize. I'm gonna bow out of this one, but I will kind of feature Slater in the future because I know it works. It worked right before the stream, and so I will drop a link in the description to a clonable that has the code and a link to the file itself that you can play around with. So with that, apologies for a little bit of a tougher stream today, but I promise all of these apps worked perfectly right before the stream. That is the challenge of doing these live. Again, thank you all for your time, and we'll be back next week for Tiny But Mighty. And last note, we will do the little outro, so take a moment now, go ahead and drop your name to see in this week's credit. We already have a ton of names here, and I'm gonna read that out in just a moment. So thank you for bearing with me in this, a little bit of a challenge stream. Really appreciate all of your time. Okay, let's jump to credits. Okay, who do we have today? And my credits are going to work. Right. Here we go. Okay, we've got Philip, Matt, Lorem Ipsum creators, Arturo, X Adam, Dale, our responsive rock star. We've got Noam, our JavaScript jester, Chad, our markup monarch, Soren, our another markup monarch. We've got Tom as our code wrangler, Design Dynamo, John, and Penny. So I will see you all back here for Tiny But Mighty. Thank you all for your time, and thank you for rolling with me on this tougher edition of the Webflow live stream, and I'll be back in the future. Thank you so much for your time. Bye, everyone.